A rat being chef in Ratatouille, but rat, a cyborg, I.
What are the latest trends in asymmetric technologies? How it is a topic definitely relevant to the students as well. So for the benefit of some of the audience, I'll start with the definition of asymmetric technologies, what exactly it means. So these are technologies which are subtle in nature, meaning to say simple and cost effective, that can combat with new age threats by tactfully engaging with its disruptive capabilities. Thereby it actually boosts the country's capability. So having said that, it has got certain very clear characteristics. It's supposed to be subtle, very simple, and then cost effective, should have a disruption which it causes in the field of war or in the society. Many times it will have an element of surprise, the way it is being used, the place is being used. So on another side, from ages if you look at it, the wars are being changed. Earlier it used to be only the kinetic war. Now it is a mixture of kinetic and non-kinetic. So when it comes to the non-kinetic, so it may be economic warfare, or cyber warfare, or diplomacy, or information warfare. So taking this non-kinetic warfare, also a kinetic warfare, together is being called as a hybrid warfare, which is highly prevalent in the present day. Given a choice to the army personnel with such a characteristics of a technology, so it becomes an obvious choice for anybody. If we look back and analyze all the wars from last couple of decades to couple of centuries, the usage of these so-called asymmetric technologies have been extensively growing. So just to take a couple of examples, either it is a Russian-Ukrainian war or Nagorno-Karabakh war, the usage of unmanned aerial vehicles of mini class, micro, also some of the IEDs, remote control detonations, and information warfare, cyber threats, these are extensively being used instead of heavy class weapons and then military equipment. What enabled the complete globe to give a little more emphasis on using these technologies? What are the basic enablers? So if you look at very few of the enablers which are mentioned here, right from IEDs, like I was mentioning, and remote control detonators, also RCD devices, be able to use a smartphone to deploy right from tens of drones to thousands of drones. So-called swarm of drones. Also cyber attacks, the grown in the usage of the cyber platforms, so it is always vulnerable. Also similarly the information warfare. So what are the possibilities for anybody who is ambitious to pursue a product development in the domain of asymmetric technologies, which causes different disruption, different levels of disruptions in various domains. So I would like to just list out some of the technologies among the various groups, right from military disruption, what is possible. So it is like intelligent and autonomous systems and smart weapons. Then comes the training in virtual battlefield to a real battlefield, execution in real field. Then mission assisted soldiers, soldier assisted missions. Then moving on to information disruptions, what is possible, right from cyber attack, misinformation, disinformation, propaganda campaign, perception management. These are some of the topics in which there is always a potential for us to work towards development of asymmetric technologies, also counter asymmetric technologies. Similar to that, in the ideological disruption, whether it is an autocracy versus democracy, or capitalism versus communism, religious and ethnic enmity. Similarly, in the socio-economic disruption, fairly all of us know something like poverty, hunger, not having enough jobs, health and education is being at risk. Also in the geopolitical, it is a territory conflict basically, redefining the boundaries, a regime change, switching alliances, So these are some of the domains in which each one of the category like geopolitical, information warfare areas. So there is a scope for, always there is a scope for us to look for a innovative asymmetric technologies, also the counter asymmetric technologies. Just to go a little deep into information warfare, if you look at the three-dimensional matrix which is just shown there, depending on the area of interaction, whether it is from a religious, social, economic, military, also level of interaction, whether it is a individual to individual or a country to country, also the nature of interaction. If it is a war, conflict, or just a cooperative activity which is being done. Everywhere, every combination of these three dimensions, we have a scope to look for technologies coming up in this direction. So some of the examples are like all of us are aware, troll factories and then automatic bots which are actually sending the chatting messages, also some of the fake news. One of the classic examples of fake news is in the recent 2016 elections in the USA, it's a conspiracy basically. So there is a saying that Russians have involved. The broad categories goes like this. One is a strategic surprise. What exactly mean by strategic surprise? Launched against an opponent who is insufficiently prepared. When it impacts to his actual abilities, he is not at all prepared. So now if attack is against the adversary, this is called as a strategic surprise. So when it comes to the tactical surprise, so an attack is planned against an adversary at an unexpected time, unexpected place, and in an unexpected manner. So this is basically called as a tactical surprise. Similar to that, we have a technological surprise, which most of us are aware. So every time the technologies are continuing to grow. So one country who is actually participant to the war is actually having a new technological outcome on hand. So is going to have a technological surprise create. Another one is a doctrinal surprise. So every country as such having their own doctrines. The doctrine basically is a SOP for all the weaponry and then missiles, equipments. How do we use? What is the counter for a specific technology? What is the counter? So if someone is actually trying to deviate from the doctrine and then still be able to make an impact, is a doctrinal surprise. And there is an endless number of technologies which falls under these criteria, which brings an element of surprise. Very few of them are mentioned here. Something like extended range electronic projectiles, electromagnetic, then laser directed energy weapons, also smart grenades. And having said that, I would like to narrow on to one specific potential platform, which is one of the highly potential platform under the category of asymmetric technologies. Why is it so? Which is drones basically. So why is it so? By having a combination of different sensors available, also the combination of different actuations which are possible using drones, you can bring in so many varieties of products which are having its own real-time applications. So that is how drone is such a platform which can bring a lot of surprises in the field of war. Either it is a drone or an unmanned aerial vehicle. Yeah. Coming to the basic classification, using various configurations possible, propulsions possible, then functionality, whether it is for ISR or combat, and sensing abilities, and then operation. There are so many classes, so many subsystems and technologies which it calls for. And many of such domains are matured enough and then available to the industry to be able to gear up to the requirements of the service forces. And of course, there are some issues related to quality, reliability. I'm damn sure it's going to improve in the near future. But having said that, there are few technological domains which are yet to be available and then matured for the industries. Some of them are being taken up within DRDO. One of such project which is called as a gun-on-drone. Imagine a scenario where a kinetic warfare is happening between two counterparts, which is a weapon on weapon basically. So imagine the enemy is at our gun's range, but our person is not at his gun's range. That is the tactical advantage which it brings. So by using this specific gun-on-drone technology. So what we have done is we have integrated the gun to the drone, and imagine the drone is able to withstand to the recoil forces, Also, it has got an onboard AI intelligence to be able to detect and classify who exactly this person is and what is the vantage point in which to make sure the target hit is highly accurate and what is the level of accuracies it has to meet in order to make sure the lethality is probability is high. And in case someone is actually doing a counter attack, how do I make evasive trajectories in order to protect myself and still be able to aim at the target? So these are some of the technologies we have built, and rest of the drone technology, which is fairly matured with the industry, we have gone ahead with the collaboration with industry, and we have completed this project in 13 months, wherein the BDC was 24 months, and then we have demonstrated to Honorable Raksha Mantri and Chief of Air Staff, wherein the probability hit we have demonstrated is 20 out of 20 bullets, which is fairly well. And coming to another potential application in asymmetric technologies is a swarm of UAVs. What is meant by swarm? It's a group of UAVs designed and developed for a specific set of objectives, may not be one objective. So having said that, there are three basic architectures of swarm as per the literature available. So one such architecture is fairly simple, which doesn't have eyes and ears, means to say sensors. The second is not having any brain, meaning to say not having any ability to make a decision. So that is very fairly simple configuration. Usually most of us might have seen in the videos and then also in the demonstrations about LED swarm drones. These LED swarm drones fall under this category. Basically it is being used for a marketing purpose. So there is a second configuration, which is a centralized swarm. In this case, imagine the drone swarms are having eyes and ears, means to say sensors. But it doesn't have a brain to take a decision making on board. So what happens in that case? The drone swarms are flown for a specific objective. All the sensory data which is being captured by individual drone swarms is being communicated back to the ground control station. So operator who is sitting in front of the GCS needs to look at so many sensory data, and he has to take a decision on behalf of almost all the drones. What sort of decision making he has to make sure? What are the type of objectives being detected, whether it is an object of interest or it's an obstacle, and what are the uncertainties which are being faced by each one of the drone swarms in order to maintain the formation of the swarms. So these are a lot of decision makings in order to meet the real-time objectives and yes, the sensors, also a decision making. So complete decision making is on board. Unless and until operator wants to do some critical decision makings at his side, rest all will be done by the drone swarm. So in addition to this, imagine a 25 or example 50 drone swarm is being required for the forces to use in the field. So sometimes we see in the videos also for a 50 UAV swarm, maybe 50 to 70